Opposition Chief Whip Gail Teixeira posited that President David Granger is eroding constitutional provisions, and this is supported by the non-appointment of judges and non-action by the president since last year, even though the judicial system is suffering terribly from a shortage of judges.
Judicial Service Commission sends to the President of the country the names of persons who they have interviewed and selected to be judges of this country. The President merely has to appoint. If he has concerns, he has to put it in writing to the Judicial Service Commission what his concerns are. The Judicial Service Commission will review his concerns and then respond back to him.
Ms. Teixeira noted that the Judicial Service Commission had submitted a number of names of persons to be appointed as judges almost 9 months ago, and that the President has refused to appoint them. She reiterated that President Granger, even if he has concerns about the names submitted, does not have the authority to do the job of the Judicial Service Commission.
They'll either take his concerns into consideration or not. At that point, the President has no choice. He must appoint. And therefore, there are 4 names that have been hanging since last year, which the President says he withheld his approval. That's his own words, that he withheld approval. This is semantical game, so whether he didn't approve or withheld approve, the same thing is that he breached the Constitution. The Constitution gives him no such power.
Ms. Teixeira stated that President Granger is entering a domain that is not his, since he has no power to nominate any judge because this falls solely in the remit and mandate of the Judicial Service Commission. Meanwhile, with regards to the swearing-in of the acting chancellor, Yonette Cummings Edwards, and acting Chief Justice Roxanne George Wiltshire, the opposition chief whip stated that another breach by the president occurred.
This was rushed and breached, and this was pointed out to the president by the leader of the opposition. However, because it was considered an emergency, because the chancellor and the chief justice were both coming off the benches, that he complied with the request to the president.
Nevertheless, Ms. Teixeira is calling on the newly appointed Chancellor and the new acting Chief Justice to uphold the Constitution in spirit and letter.
The judiciary are the gatekeepers of our democratic foundations and our Constitution, and we call on the acting Chancellor and the Chief Justice to continue to be dynamic and loyal defenders of the Constitution of our country, and to be the firm and strong gatekeepers to allow no erosion of the independence of the judiciary.
Reporting for HGP Nightly News, I am Kristen Macklingam.